welcome everyone to Overcome Podcast. As you can see here, if you are watching on YouTube, if you are watching on Spotify and Apple Podcast, you will not see, but we have a new look and feel for the episode because it's season 3. And the first episode of this season actually is with Olympia qualifier, Amanda Burnett. Amanda, thank you very much for being on.
Of course, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Amanda, I'm a very good friend of your husband, and I think I'd seen your first competition because he was coaching you, and it was not too long ago, right? When did you start competing?
My first competition was March of 2020. We did the Arnold Amateur. So just over 2 years ago. And then I took a little bit of an off season and then started back in June of 2021 at the Dallas Europa.
So, but wait, that was your first competition ever, or that was your first pro competition?
My first competition ever was the Arnold Amateur in back in March 2020.
Wow,
yes,
so
ever.
you already start on the Arnold Amateur.
Yeah.
Already on big stage already.
Yes, correct.
Wow. And what led you to that?
Well, I had kind of just been lifting on my own at my house and just watching YouTube videos, and then got into bodybuilding. And I actually reached out to my husband. He was a trainer, or he is a trainer, but I reached out to him via Facebook. Because I had heard so much good things about him. And that's actually how we met. And so I started training with him. And of course, we connected, and now we're married. But so about 6 months into training, I wanted to compete. And I actually wanted to start out in figure. But he said, I've seen this new division, wellness. I think you should really go for it because it fits my physique a lot better, and I'm glad I listened to him. So it worked out quite well.
So your first competition at Arnold was already on the wellness division.
Correct. Yes.
And it's really a short journey from the first competition to getting the pro card and then getting Olympia qualified. That's extremely impressive. How did you manage to push so hard and so fast to get to this point? You said that you took an off season, but it's like a very short one, right? Because you were competing back to back all the time.
Yes, it was pretty short. Once we started back at the Dallas Europa in June of 2021, we won the overall there, and then went straight to, I think 2 weeks later, Team Universe. And then we hit Masters Nationals in August, Nationals in December, turnaround. And this year we did, I think it was Junior USA in April, Junior Nationals in May, and then I got my pro card in July at the USA. And then we've hit 3 pro shows since then. It just, I love to compete. I was a marathon runner before, so I love to suffer, is what Scott always says. I really, really enjoy it. I love competing. I just, as long as I'm healthy and my body's healthy, I'm going to continue to go as hard as I can.
Yeah, but it's just very impressed to me the fact that you were not a physique bodybuilder competitor 2 years ago, and stay on a strict diet, because I would imagine that to keep you lean that way, you have to have a very strict diet. So you're not having long off seasons or anything. Are you okay dealing with this constant pushing on the diet and everything?
I am. We really, if I'm getting too run down, we'll do a refeed, of sushi or steak or something. And to me, it's honestly a lot better. I love the consistency of knowing what I'm going to eat every day, instead of guessing. And I guess that's where it just feels so normal for me that, I know I'm going to wake up and have 6 or 7 meals a day of, fish or steak or whatever it is. I love the consistency. It helps me function every day.
Nice. That's awesome. That's awesome. Your body composition from the 2020 till now did change a lot, but did you change a lot also your weight? Or if you compare when you start to now, are you around the same weight, or how did it change?
It's gone up. I've put on quite a bit of muscle. So I think at the Arnold, when I went on stage, I was probably around 114 pounds or so. Um, the competition before this at the USA, I think we came on stage at like 128. This
Wow,
one,
14
yes,
pounds. That's amazing.
yes, yes. And so this one was we came on about 124 because we did things a little bit different the last couple of weeks. But I put on probably, 14, 15 pounds at least of muscle in the last couple of years.
And before you start lifting, before 2020, when you were just lifting at home, were you above that weight or below?
I was actually I, I wasn't on the best meal plan back then because I really didn't know what I was doing. So I was about 135, 140, but again, it wasn't necessarily, I didn't have the muscle that I have
Yeah, yeah,
now.
but you were also not like fat, overweight, right? You.
Right. I was just kind of average, I
Mhm.
guess, for my height, size, my weight was. But yeah, we've really done a lot with my physique and the push pull on food in the last couple of years.
And so I guess that the plan now that you got the qualification for the Olympia is to push through until Olympia, so no breaks at all.
No breaks. I've taken two off from the gym just to relax and sleep and eat a little bit more. And we're getting ready to go train here in just a little bit and get back on it. We've got just over 9 weeks till the Olympia.
I believe that at this point in time, you don't really do a lot of cardio, do you? You don't need to, right?
I don't really need to. I've backed off to about 20, 30 minutes a day, and then it'll just kind of go up week to week, depending on what my body looks like, of course.
And what type of cardio do you prioritize? Just Stairmasters?
I like the Stairmaster, and here at the house, I have a bike that I use. So Stairmaster or bike are really best for me.
And between now and the Olympia, are you gonna try to adjust as far as the calorie intake, or are you gonna drop a little bit? Like you're gonna start high and then drop, or what is the plan?
We're probably going to start high. I'm going to try to put on a little more size in my glutes and my legs. That was some of my feedback, just to put on a little more size. So we're going to start a little higher on the calories, for the next couple of weeks since we've got a little bit of time, and then slowly drop it.
Before you win this pro show, you came really close on the last few ones, right? I remember some shows you were very close to win. And did you get like a tangible feedback about what you need to improve that you added up and came differently on the last show?
Yes. So at my first one, which was Texas Pro, I got third. And then I got second at the Heart of Texas. And I got some really good feedback on my posing. Um, they said everything was really good. There was just a few little minor things that I needed to tweak. And I try to work on my posing at least every day, if not 5 or 6 times a week. And just stage presence was one of the things they said too. But, we worked on all of that and did tweaks here and there. And of course, there's still more I need to work on. But posing was the main thing that I worked on, and it definitely paid
But
off.
as far as physique, shoulders, everything else, they thought that was on point.
That they did actually say that at the Heart of Texas, that everything was on point. They said that it was really close between me and her at first and second. Michelle
Hmm.
Labata, she's a very sweet girl. But yeah, they said pretty much it was just my posing that needed a little bit of change and a little work. So that's what I've been working on. And then this time they said I need to add a little bit more size. So that's what we're going to focus on this time.
So on the wellness division, what they are actually looking for, what are the main attributes that they are looking for?
They are looking for mainly size in the glutes, quads, hamstrings. It's a lower body dominant division. And they do want your upper body shaped some, but um, not like figure where it's they want really formed shoulders and back and everything. Just mainly large glutes, quads, hamstrings, and a lot of be conditioned for the
Oh,
show.
so they also want you to be very conditioned.
It's turning that way. Yes, yes. If in the shows they're wanting more and more, is what we've noticed.
Interesting, because I wouldn't imagine that vascularization and muscle division would be something important for this division, but they are changing that.
A little. They don't want necessarily, striations all over the body, but they do want to see the lines in the legs, some striations in the glutes, and I think in the beginning people were bringing in softer looks, but they're, gradually becoming. I say harder, but more conditioned, and that's what we've noticed the judges are
Yeah,
looking
I
for.
think it's happening also on class physique. If you look at the class physique, the men's class physique from some years ago, it was way softer than now. Now it's way hardening and more vascular. So it just continue to push. It feels like it continues to push. I hope that they do not push at the point that it really becomes difficult to comprehend figure and wellness, right? Because wellness, as you said, it should be lower body dominant.
Correct. I hope so too, and I don't think it will. Like you said, I hope it doesn't continue to develop into more harder and vascular. I think they do have a specific look that they are going for, and I think that at first it was kind of new, so they weren't really sure what to look for, but now they've kind of got what they want down and what they're looking for, and people are really nailing that look.
Now, you look like you are very well disciplined, but throughout the 2 years since you compete at the Arnold 2020, what really has been the toughest part about this journey for you?
Oh gosh, it would be. I'd probably say just. I absolutely love working out, training, cardio. Believe it or not, I love the cardio. Um, Even though I like the consistency of the diet, some days that is the hardest part, I would say. It's kind of a love hate
Mm-hmm.
thing, you know. Fish every day for 3 weeks, and sometimes you get a little crazy in the head, but really, I just always focus on what the main goal is and what we're going for, and it makes it easier. But I would say the most challenging part, it is the diet. I think um, there are days, but most of the time it's fine. I enjoy it, and I love what I eat. So
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely. And mainly when you do back-to-back shows like you're doing, because you're doing literally like back-to-back shows without stop. So you have to keep that diet consistent for months.
yes, yes. And again, like I said, Scott, he's my trainer. He can see when I'm really, really run down, and we'll go have a refeed, pick up the energy. Sometimes, I'm getting really flat, and he can just see that. So he's really, really good and observant about what's going on with my body, and if I'm struggling mentally a little bit, and he's really my biggest support system. So it really helps that I see him every day, and he can just really guide me through everything, and I just really look to him for everything.
That's truly a privilege to have your coach like in at home or 24/7. I'm not sure if it
Yes.
is a great thing, but also a tough thing to have someone watching your progress like 24/7 because probably there is some pressure there too.
These last few days I've had, just a little bit more flexible, and he reminded me today. He said, we've got to get back on diet, and remember we're going to the biggest show in the world here, so time to buckle down again. So yeah, sometimes it's a little challenging, but again, it's ultimately a really good thing.
Are you the first wellness from Oklahoma to go to the Olympia?
Uh, in wellness, yes. I'm trying to think. We have a couple other pros, wellness pros. But yes, to the Olympia. Yes, that would be correct.
That's a great milestone for NPC Oklahoma to have this amazing representative there, right?
Yes, very exciting. I think this year in the Olympia, they actually have one more. We have a gentleman who's doing classic physique, I believe. He'll be at the Olympia as well. So for Oklahoma, yeah, it's very exciting. Um, for us to be taking the stage, and they're very supportive of us, and we've been really
But you
blessed.
never competed in Oklahoma locally, right?
No, no, we started right out at the Arnold.
Okay, there was any particular reason to pick up that show to start?
We He knows Scott is very competitive, like I am. He's trained a lot of people, a lot of world class people, and he's always instilled in my mind that we want to go for the best, the biggest, all the time, and keep that mindset. So he wanted me to just get on one of the biggest stages in the world, um, and experience that. And I think it's really helped. Um, because now I don't feel nervous about going on the Olympia stage. I know it's the biggest stage in the world, but the Arnold is also, it's huge. And just getting over that hump of the nerves and everything, I just feel very comfortable, really, going anywhere, competing anywhere, being on any stage. So that was a huge plus.
Yeah, yeah, no, it prepares you. And talking about getting nervous, were you nervous on your first show?
I was extremely nervous. That was actually the weekend that COVID shut everything down. So when we got there, we weren't sure we were going to be able to compete. And they told us the day before that we were, but no one could come in and watch. It was just the judges, which actually kind of helped a little bit, but it was still nerve wracking because, the entire world was watching on, you know,
Online, yeah.
or online, yes. Um, but yes, it was still incredibly nerve wracking. I competed actually with the Miss Olympia right now. She was in my class at that show, and it was nerve wracking, but it went by so fast that I didn't have time to think about it too much. We were just on stage, off stage, and then that was it.
And at that point, you really didn't have a lot of experience as far as posing, right? Because you just started.
Yes, and when it first came, they weren't really sure on the poses that they wanted. They weren't 100% telling us what exactly they were
Oh, so that was the first year of the wellness?
in America.
Oh, okay.
In America, yes, 2020. It had been going on in other countries for a while, but here in America, the first couple shows they were really trying to nail down what they wanted for the posing because it was so new here. So yeah, I just was kind of, we were just going off of what we read online, what people were telling us. But it's okay. I've got a lot of experience. But
Yes, you did, and you did, and it was really good for you to start in the beginning of this movement because it helped you to build up your own persona, style, and everything, and fit. And probably, as you said, we receive a lot of feedback throughout the way.
yes, and we have, every show after we get feedback, and of course, like I said, the posing has evolved. Um, and they've really got nailed down what they wanted for the posing, so it's a lot better. We know exactly what to do. It's more established here, so it's not gray anymore. It's very black and white.
And from since the wellness has this requirement to be more dominant on the lower body, do you have a special type of training that you do where you prioritize lower body? How you divide your training, I mean, throughout the week?
So right now, I actually had to bring my upper body down. Um, so I've stopped working out my upper body. Um, it's been,
Completely?
well, yes, actually.
Wow.
And I still have size, because I got that was part of the feedback I got from the Texas show, Texas Pro, my first one. They said that my upper body was a little bit big, but I still, again, I stopped working it out right after Dallas Europa, which was June 2021, just so I wouldn't continue to grow here. And now I do my lower body. I have a split, a 5-day split that I do glutes, quads, hamstrings, and then I add in calves and abs, but I do that every week. That's all I do is glutes, quads, hams, and I just rotate
I
those
just
throughout the
cannot
week.
believe you don't do anything for the upper body with those big shoulders. It's
No, when I first started training, I was doing upper body a lot, and I just put on size easily up there. And when I realized that we were going to stick with wellness, um, we just had to stop completely. And just from picking up the weights and putting them on and stuff, I still get an upper body workout, but I'm not actually working it out.
wow, that's unbelievable. Did you ever train with someone else on the same division? Do you know if they use the same approach, or is this really because of your physique?
It's mainly because of my physique. I've talked to a lot of girls and watched a lot of girls online. Um, and they do add in upper body days with light weights. And some of them that aren't very developed still have to, keep those days in. But just for me and my body, I just have to really stick to the lower body workouts all the time right now. I'm sure there will come a day that I need to start doing it again just to keep the shape. But right now it's all about lower body,
And
5 days a
and
week, 6 days
and
a
do you
week.
think that for the Olympia, this will continue to be the strategy? Because on the Olympia level, they are a little bit big. If you look at the 2021 Olympia champion on that division, she's she is very well developed on the upper body.
Yes, and we just kind of watch what my body does week to week, and if we notice that we need to start doing shoulders again or back, then we will certainly add that in for sure.
So between now and Olympia is 9 weeks. In the during the you don't have weight limit, right? For this division, you don't really have weight limit, right?
Correct.
So you don't need to worry about cutting like to meet a certain standard of weight. I mean, you're gonna cut a little bit, but not because you need to establish a weight, right?
Correct. All about the look. Like you said, since we don't have to hit a certain weight. It's all just about the look that they're going for, the look of the body, the lines, the separation. So yeah, we just evaluate push pull food, push pull cardio, just go from there.
And when you won the last competition, I think it was a couple weeks ago, right? The last show that you qualify, what did you really change? What do you think was really important for you to change? Because you were very close every competition, you were very close second, third, and all that. What really changed on your training, nutrition that you thought, well, this actually made a big difference, and that's because that's why I won.
Um, One thing I'm going to tell on myself a little bit here um, that I wasn't doing, and I was doing cardio twice a day for all these competitions, but I wasn't doing any fasted cardio. Um, just because when I wake up, I'm not the happiest person in the world. Scott really hammered on me. He said, let's do it. We're so close. I think to, get that conditioning, we need to hit the fasted cardio. So right after Heart of Texas, I started and I hit my fasted cardio every day, um, like a champ.
20
and
minutes, 20
I,
minutes, so 30.
we actually did 25 minutes of fasted, and then the evenings we would do another session of cardio. But that's all it took. And it really, I mean, I think that really kind of put me, over the top. That's what it took um, to win and help me. And I'll definitely be doing that again. Um, so yeah, one of the things that we
So
changed.
now you are used to doing fast and you're not mad anymore.
Well, I'm used to it. There are some days I have to have an extra cup of coffee before I start, but yes, I'm used to it by now.
That's awesome. That's awesome. When it comes to leg training, do you prioritize some exercise? Do you do when you do, for example, squats? Do you do heavy squat, light squat? What is your strategy there?
So the training plan that Scott has for me, um, we do heavy. We go a lot of heavy days, and then some weeks we'll switch off and do like more reps and lighter weight. Um, Mainly heavy right now, but again, as it gets closer, we might go to more reps, lighter weight. We always try to avoid injury by going heavy when it gets closer to a show, so we'll lighten up just a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
But yes,
Now, during those 2 years of intense training, I'm assuming that you were pretty healthy, have no injury at all, or did you had any injury during those 2 years that you've been training?
no, actually, I didn't have any injuries. I When I first started about 2 or 3 years ago, kind of working out on my own, I had had a pretty severe pull on the inside of my leg or tear that I've really kind of had to nurse through all of these preps. A lot of stretching, a lot of body work involved to kind of get over that. Um, just to make sure I don't re-injure it. But otherwise, no, everything's gone really well.
Now, when you said that it was a major injury, were you able to rehab by only doing physical therapy exercise, or you had to do any type of surgery?
Just physical therapy, kind of massage,
Hmm.
just stuff like that has helped.
Oh, that's good. It's great. Are you doing any type of mobility work?
We also do that too, about once a week. Um, we do yoga. We do pretty much everything that will help us, our joints, mobility, anything to help overall for our health and making the muscles pop. We make sure to hit it. Take all everything. Um, yeah, we've got a pretty good system down now.
What about recovery? Are you training 5'2", 6'1"? And when you are recovering, do you do any type of chirotherapy or massage? Or what do you do for recovery?
Really, all we've done that's worked well has just been massage and chiropractic. We make sure to, get chiropractic work done at least once a week or every other week. But we've noticed that massage has helped the best.
So you don't have any problem with joint pain, soreness, or anything like that?
Not currently.
With because with the heavy lift, sometimes it comes right when you are
Yeah,
lifting heavy and your body is a little bit dehydrated, all those things come.
yes, and sometimes when I was closer to some shows, my knees or joints would start to ache a little bit, and that's when we knew I needed to pull back a little bit, lighten up the weight a little bit, just to avoid any kind of distress or injury.
Uh, Coming close to the show peak week and near or 24 hours by the show, do you do any type of depletion as far as water intake and things like that?
We do. So we do a depletion of 5 days, pretty much where I pull my carbs, water load a little bit, and then trying to think about 3 days out from the show is when we start carb loading and cutting back on our water. Um, and that's kind of evolved too, like what we load on.
Hmm.
Um, what we have found in the last couple of shows that works best for us is sweet potato, steak, shrimp. As we're pulling back on the water, it really helps fullness. Um, helps me from going flat during the show. But yeah, we pretty much got it down, figured out my body. It took a little bit, but those are the things that work best for us.
That's awesome. That's awesome, Amanda. So 9 weeks, full power right now. I really wish all the best. I really hope that you are able to go toe to toe with all the other competitors there. It's already a big dream to be where you are, I think. I'm not sure if you were ever expecting to be that fast when you started. So I think you're super thankful just to be there, right?
I'm very excited. Again, when we started, this was our ultimate goal. Actually, our ultimate goal is to win the Olympia, and that's what we're going to continue to push for. So yeah, we always knew that great things were going to happen. It was just a matter of time. And that's pretty much how we live every day, is just have that ultimate goal in mind and go as hard as we can all the time.
Amazing. Very happy for you. Very happy for Scott. Scott is a super nice guy. We competed together back in 2015 in Oklahoma. He got first, I got second. It was amazing experience. So thank you very much for taking the time. I know that you are going to train right now. So wish you a great prep, and thanks for joining the show and share a little bit about your story.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me on. It's been a pleasure.
All right. Good luck, Amanda.
Thank you.
All right, everyone. Thank you very much for joining. Stay tuned. We have more to come on this third season of Overcome Podcast.